When states get federal funding, that funding is specifically allocated for certain purposes. And when states receive federal funding, that means that there is federal oversight. If you have not heard, Kathy Hochul just recently had $74 million taken away from the federal government due to her shenanigans that she is allowing illegal immigrants to get licenses without the proper documentation or whatever it was. We need to start calling on the federal government to investigate the rest of the federal dollars that is being received by Kathy Hochul's administration, because that money is being used to silence conservative voices who speak out about funneling taxpayers' dollars in federal grants through nonprofits. If you haven't heard of the Seneca Babcock Association and the hot water that is in for getting all of these federal grants, maybe you should take a look into it. But this message is for the Donald Trump administration. I have been exposing public corruption since July of last year. And since then, the city of Buffalo and the county of Erie under Mark Poloncarz has been retaliating against my speech. For example, on February 24th, I went to speak about the Seneca Babcock Community Association. This was before it went viral, when legislator Frank Todaro wrote a letter to attorney Letitia James. 3 days after speaking, the health department showed up at my house. Previously, when I was speaking about April Baskins, that is Senator April Baskins, I had the City of Buffalo Department of Permits and Inspections show up at my house and give me a summons to go to court. These are tactics that are used by our leaders in the Democratic Party. These agencies that they are using to retaliate against me get CDBG funding, which is federal money. I have previously tried to go to the Erie County District Attorney's Office regarding some of these nonprofits I have been calling out. And Stephen Earnhardt, who is an assistant district attorney, physically removed me from the DA's office, told me I had to leave a public building or he was going to have me arrested for trying to report fraud, waste, and abuse. This behavior is unacceptable. These people are public servants. They cannot participate in selective enforcement of the law. They cannot retaliate against a citizen speaking out about abuse of federal tax dollars. And it is completely abhorrent for a district attorney to remove me from a public building and tell me that he would have me arrested for trying to report fraud, waste, and abuse. Donald Trump and your administration, I hope you see this video. I have so much information about nonprofits tied to political leaders that serve on the Democratic committee, excuse me, a family and friends of theirs that have stolen money, which can be proven by tracking and following the money, just like you guys are doing with the Southern Poverty Law Center.
If you don't like
Southern Poverty Law Center, and they are using federal tax dollars that they are getting from grants to retaliate against people like me. I am calling on your administration to cease any federal funding to these agencies until Kathy Hochul and Mark Poloncarz and Letitia James ensure that these federal tax dollars are not going to retaliate against individuals that speak out about fraud, waste, and abuse.